So an industry is a natural monopoly when a single firm can supply a good or services to an entire market at a smaller cost than could two or more firms. So basically, natural monopoly arises where, so recall our discussion from cost of production that the average total cost is U-shaped curve, right? So a natural monopoly arises when there are economies of scale over the relevant range of outputs. So all the companies, they are producing, for example, the industry is producing here. For example, industry, which is concluded of thousands of firms. For example, they are producing 1,000 million products here. And your company can produce 1,000 million products, but your company's average total cost is here, right? So what happened here? If we make a new one for your company can produce 1,000 million products here as well. According to industry, you have that capacity too, but you are this part or decreasing part of your ATC curve, average total cost curve. What does it mean? It means by producing more, your costs actually start decreasing and then become constant and then start rising, right? So if you are operating at this region for a longer period of time, you are driving out competition. You are producing the quantity, you are capturing the market share, and you are eating your competitors and driving out your competitors to the market, and you are becoming monopoly. So that there is no ownership of key resources. There is no government's, intellectual property, patents, copyrights are needed. In that case, you become monopoly. So let me just explain through a graph. So if you can continue this one, this one is the average total cost. So if you are operating here by producing more, your costs actually start decreasing. This is called economies of scale, and if you can maintain it for a longer period of time, you may drive out the competition out of the market and you become monopoly. So entrant firms know that they cannot achieve that lowest cost, as after entering the market, share will be divided, right? So another question for the Shanghai Metro. Even though Shanghai Metro does not apply for patents to the government, that only Shanghai, metro company has the right to operate subway on the subway tracks in Shanghai. Even then, Shanghai Metro is monopoly. Why? Because their operating cost is so low. Even though if somebody is coming to the subway company, first of all they have to see their fixed cost, right? Sometimes fixed cost becomes a barrier to entry because spreading and digging tunnels, spreading the tracks, or even the using those tracks, the cost of those subway, and this, subway lines, subway trains, and operating system and all the stuff is too high. Even then, that create a barrier. Plus, providing service to a common person or average person or to a one extra person is very low for Shanghai Metro. If they take one person or they take 1,000 person, cost is the same. If they transfer 100,000 customers a day, their average cost decrease crazily. So in that case, it becomes natural monopoly as well, right? Plus, if I talk about the other companies, for example, some kind of like multinational company, for example, if I talk about Nestle, if Nestle want to become the monopoly in food industry, right? You see that Nestle is the oldest company. It have means and it have improved its technology as well. So if Nestle produce more and if its every total cost by producing more start decreasing, so Nestle is basically trying to do what? Increasing the market share, producing more, increasing the market share. When market share is increased, it means you are acquiring other firms or you are pushing other firms to go out from that business and you become monopoly. So normally firms have trouble maintaining natural monopoly without ownership of a key resource or a protection from the government. So do you think that a company can maintain its every total cost to always its first half? Maybe after 10 years it has to go towards the constant return to scale and ultimately go the above. Whenever companies start trying to increase or touch or gaining this economies of scale, then in that case price is less than marginal cost. Sorry, price is greater than marginal cost. In that case, new firms start entering, right? Or price greater than the marginal cost, or MR greater than MC, right? We will learn that, but not in that case. But we will learn that what happened when when the when the price is greater than MC or price greater than every total cost. What happened? The new firms start entering the market and giving this natural monopoly a tough competition, and at the end either they both survive, like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they both survive the market and they always constantly fight with the price to gain the market share. So monopolist profit attracts entrant despite of large fixed cost, and in the long run monopoly loses its market power, right? Even though I talk about that there is a huge fixed cost to set up the company, even then for a longer period of time, if a company sees the opportunity that after 50 years, this company is becoming giant, and even then after 50 years or 10 years, if you see that the providing the cost, of the cost of this service is even though the low, but the buying equipment is so expensive, even then if the company sees its future for the next 10 year or 15 year or 20 year or 50 years, even then it does the fixed cost decision does not hold the company back from entering the market. It will enter the market.